we sacrifice you, Palestine, with our souls, with our blood. Oh Palestine, we sacrifice our souls and our blood for you. Oh Palestine, we sacrifice our souls and our blood for you. Oh Palestine, we sacrifice our blood and our souls for you. Oh Palestine, we sacrifice our souls and our blood for you. Oh Palestine, we sacrifice our souls and our blood for you. This is the Egyptian voice, and maybe the teams are different, but the feelings are the same, and our feelings are toward our families in Gaza and in Palestine in a case that is a just case. So if we are going to go towards a case such as this one, this would be the best. So we have a special program today, and we have here in the studio the Palestinian legend Mahmoud Wadi. Welcome here, and we're honored to have you today here, and we would like to send our condolences. Good evening, Captain Ibrahim, and our martyrs in Gaza, Palestine in general. And I wish all the good recovery for all the injured and all our families in Gaza Strip. And we ask Allah for perseverance. So let me tell you that this meeting is we have on the second voice channel with English language, and this would be broadcasted on the social media, all applications. So let me start with you with this report, and after that we're going to continue.
لا أصعب من أن تمتلك قلبين، الأول حيث يتواجد جسدك، والثاني لا يغادر وطنك وذكريات الطفولة التي تفرض عليك تقاسم الألم والوجع.
This is when you have this sad feeling with the families, and so this is Mahmoud Wadi, and he with the resistance, and he is going to search for all the families in order to affect all the souls around the world, and also to transfer the feelings of those people under the occupation, those who killed the innocent people, and they shed blood without any kind of punishment. And here in Egypt there is a lot of support from all teams headed by Al-Ahli and Al-Zamalek, in addition to all players, whether collectively or individually, for the Palestinian case, in order to convey all those voices to the entire world. So Wadi haven't found more than this, and this football in order to be a legend, and now he is one of the stars, and he is going to one of those stars who is supporting the Palestinian people with those eyes who know the injured people and who smell the martyrdom. And this is our very dire times for Gaza Strip, and the happiness and perseverance they are representing by the perseverance in order to defend it against all of the other occupying countries. And this is Mahmoud Wadi, who started the playing football with Shabab Naim until 2013, and after that he transferred to Ittihad Khan Yunis and then to Al-Ahli, and this is the period of time he became a legend and a star in the Asian Championship, and after that he transferred to the Al-Ahli in Jordan, and after that he became a star, and then he moved to the Egyptian League, and after that he moved to after that in 2018, and after he was a star he moved to the Pyramids team, and he played 2 years consecutively, and he played 46 games and he scored 10 goals. And in 2023 he moved to the army at Talayat Geish, and nowadays and Wadi is in a different experiment with Al-Muqawilun Arab, the Arab contractor, and after that actually he had many challenges and he overcome all of them, and he played with Al-Masri in Port Said, and after that to Pyramid, and we're going to listen to his all his actions, and he is going to answer all these actions in the Fans of the Third Section program. All right, let me start with you. Now we see pictures and videos about what is going on there in Gaza Strip, in Palestine. So you have another perspective, all your family members and all the other Palestinians are there. What is going on there? So let me tell you that the real state on the ground is really worse than what you see on the videos. Maybe we see a picture nowadays, and on the other hand, there is a very worse picture. But this is our life, actually, since this occupation came to our lands. So the conditions now in Gaza Strip, it's a catastrophe. It's a humanitarian catastrophe. And my mother, my brothers and sisters, and all their family members, my friends, all my beloved ones, all these members, they are under the risks, and even for the atrocity. So yeah, actually it is an atrocity. So this is a very dire situation. It's a very serious situation, but I believe that the perseverance and to stay here. And so tell me, what does the Palestinian people have in order to persevere and to struggle? I see videos for fathers and mothers who lose their sons and as martyrs, but they can provide more and more. How do they have this kind of perseverance? As we say, if you have the right, you don't care about anything. So whenever you have the right, and even you are under pressure, under any kind of these kinds of actions. So there are many families who provide many martyrs. So some other members who were diminished, totally diminished. Yeah, so we're totally diminished from all the records. About 56 families. So 56 families, they were diminished totally. So maybe you consider that there is no one is going to cry for them or even to feel sad for them. So all of them were demolished. So we see many scenes that are very hard. Our hearts. So I saw a video that was really hard for me. Actually, my father passed away, and within this war and all these atrocities that happened, so my father passed away. So one of my friends, his father passed away, and no one actually buried his father. So this is really a very difficult situation. So tell me, the people around the world who see only from one side, not with the other side. So their sons didn't live what you lived, and all these kinds of sounds of the bombardment and the shelling. How did you live your childhood? So let me tell you that today we have a lot of differentiation and discrimination when it comes to this. So they actually turn a blind eye to what is going on here, and they say that they don't see those civilians. But concerning our childhood, I am one of the people who stayed 22 years in Gaza before I traveled. So actually I came under the debris in 2012, 2013, and I lived this war, and I waited for the death as they are waiting for the death right now. So I'm one of those people that I am really confident that all the people, when I went to bed, I felt that the ceiling is going to be on my head, and when I went to bed, I just ask Allah to let me alive. So we have our God, we have Allah, and you depend only on Allah. And so we are Muslims, we are believers, we are true believers. So because you have the right, you are entitled to have this land. So we are civilians who live in different houses. So don't you feel that you're not impatient from the death? So maybe in other words, you say that all of us when we talk, but when you talk it's really different because you lived the condition, you lived the situation, and you are till now you live this kind of aggression, this aggression from Israel. So maybe you feel that you're desperate. Yeah, of course, sometimes we fear from death, as Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said that death is really very hard, but actually maybe you say there is no other place to go, either die, to live or die. So maybe you're exposed to death, so you just, we know that the fearness is there, the fear is there. You can see those children who shiver. This is really difficult for us. It actually deteriorates our hearts. It's really destroys our hearts. So this childhood, I lived this kind of childhood. For me as Mahmoud, I lived this kind of childhood. So when you ask 99% of the children or this generation, they would say that they lived this kind of conditions. So me personally, I lived this life. So when I see that the life is over there in Gaza, so in my vacation I cannot go there to Gaza. There is no anything that I go there. Maybe I don't find my memories, or maybe the places where I grew up. So actually it's really hard. So it's a very really severe condition. So maybe you didn't say that this case will be over. Generation after generation die as martyrs, but you have the same faith. Yeah, as I told you, my brother Ibrahim, the one who has the right, he feels that he is really strong. So it's not just me, Mahmoud. You can find some families maybe who have all their family members died, but you can see that they persevere, they challenge, they face the challenge. So there are posts that people, they have a lot of family members, and they say that congratulate me for all my family members who died as martyrs. So I know that this would increase our the perseverance in our people. And concerning the case, it will not be over. So what do they want to get you to? And of course, we always listen to all leaders in the world that there is a plan for the forced displacement of the people from Gaza Strip. And now we can see that there are so many conditions that are very appreciated from the Arab world, and especially under the umbrella of President Sisi, and who blocked this kind of forced displacement. Of course, the Egyptians and the president, the first case is the Palestinian case, and this is how we grew up. Of course, yeah, this is what I say in every occasion, that Egypt is the country that huddle and tries to solve this kind of case. So we in Gaza, we encourage the Egyptian football, Al-Ahli and Zamalek. As you can see, all the Egyptians on the cafes watch the games. Yeah, we do the same, and we do encourage, and we have the fans, because we are really, geographically, we are close to you, and even when it comes to the humanitarian side, we are close to you, and we prove that we are one people. Your case is our case, and your blood is our blood, and there is no question about that. And do you feel that again behind this is just reasons in order to displace the Palestinian people? Yeah, this is what was said in the social media, and even all the Arab leaders talked about that. And this is not just it's not anything that we invent. Do you see that if this happened, that would end or finish the case, the Palestinian case? Of course, yeah. So when my grandparents, when they forced to be displaced, so I can say that I'm a refugee. So my grandfather was forced to be displaced, and he went to Khan Yunis. And nowadays we can say that we can feel the same, the forced displacement and the coerced movement of the people. So even those people in Gaza Strip, they there was a forced displacement from the northern Gaza to the southern Gaza. And even those people who were displaced, they didn't surrender. So this is what we say. This is what we saw right now. This is the IDF. Actually, they told them you should move from the north to the south, and they killed many people. So this is we are totally convinced that we're in Gaza right now, and this war is a bloody war, and it's the most aggressive one. So when I talk to my mother, my brothers, my friends, all my beloved ones, they say that this is a really severe condition. Everything is targeted. All the secured facilities are targeted. We have witnessed this targeting of Al-Ma'madani hospital, all the mosques, and even the churches. I don't think that anyone can be exposed to this kind of bombardment or shooting. So when was the last time when you talked to your mother? Actually, my mother and all my family members, when I talk to them, I try to call them, and because of the blockade and the outage there, actually some people can have some generators, and of course the electricity normally we have it for 8 hours, and there is a blackout for 8 hours. But within this war, actually, it's a totally blackout. So my families, they have this electricity for only 2 hours in order to recharge your phone or for any something like that. So even when you have an international call or something like that, it doesn't get through. So this is not a humanitarian condition. So nowadays I can see some videos for my friends that maybe they say that this is the 13th day in order to take a shower. Maybe he's in his house, and some other refugees who don't have houses or shelters. So maybe they live on the street. Really, they live on the street. So, and maybe in the winter, there is a coming winter, and it would be a very dire situation. So 2 days ago I cried a lot, and I called my brother, and I cried a lot because actually he tried to make me stronger, and he told me that everything would be okay and that the war would be over. Yeah, actually it's a very severe situation. So he is there, and he is raising my morals. And when I talked to my mother, and she asked me, why do you cry? I told her I am crying for what is happening to the people. Actually, everything that I see and I notice is really difficult. It's actually it affected my heart. So the condition in Gaza, it's not a normal life for human beings. So they should cease fire. And from this program, I do ask all the Arab leaders and all the leaders in general in order to cease fire and to stop this war, because there are many civilians, maybe 1,600 children died, many women died. And for the as you talked about your mother, when did the last time you hear her voice? Today? Yes, today. Yeah, so actually the preparation team, we asked Mr. Wadi, let's listen to the voice of the mother of Mahmoud Wadi and what she sent today. Peace be upon you, Mahmoud. Let me assure you, actually I would like to make sure that you are well, and as you know, we don't have electricity or drinking water, and I can't hear your voice. I hope that I can hear your voice very well, and I know that tomorrow you have a game, a football game. I wish that you would be okay, and I wish that you would win in your game and you score more than one goal, and that would be for all those who martyred. And actually forgive me that I would like to talk to you every day, but the conditions is the reason I would reassure and talk to you more than once. Actually, there is no after that. And this is the brief of what they live there in Gaza. So she is there under the bombardment and the shooting of the aggression. So of course, yeah, this is the condition. This is just one shot and one scene of what we face every day. Some people actually, they don't have family members or sons in order to talk to them. So let's go to an interval, and after that we'll be back. We're continuing with you in our talk with Captain Mahmoud Wadi. Let me ask you a question. How many is expected to see this meeting there in Gaza? Actually, those who are lucky to have electricity. So yeah, the lucky ones who have electricity. So the situation is difficult. Or do they have internet? Maybe. I think that those who can see this program today, those who have the solar panels in order to have electricity, those who can watch this program. So but I think that our voices would be heard from them. So I think this is for the first time to see an aggression and excessive force towards children and towards hospitals. So we haven't seen any kind of those scenes before. Sometimes they they were hidden, but nowadays I can't have any kind of expression except for that this is kind of show off in order to kill the children and also to hit the hospital, to hit a church. So the Muslim and the Christians, all of them, their bloods are together. So did they get to this kind of level and excessive force and this kind of arrogance to be like that? So for all the wars that I lived as Mahmoud till this war, so the most number of those that are killed are the children and women, actually, without reviewing the numbers. So the most numbers of those who die are the children and women. So, and this is not strange, by the way, for us. But this time it's very bloody war, very bloody war. So the hospital Madani is away from you. Yeah, yes, it's away from me. But is there any kind of bombardment at Khan Yunis? Yeah, of course, yeah. The day before yesterday, I found a message on my cell phone from my sister that the bombardment stayed from 2 in the morning till 8 in the morning. So many football players actually martyred. So everyone is not secured. So this is what we can say as a title. No one in Gaza for the 2 million people and 2.2 million people who live there are secured. So they're not secured. I watched the video that was very hard. It affected my heart. This is for Yusuf, the one who is 7 years old. So let's watch this together. So this is Yusuf. So I'm just trying to look for him. I'm looking for him. Yeah, this is what you're looking for. Yeah, this is just the flesh. Wait. Where? Tell us where. Where is he? Maybe it's not him. Yeah, here he is. Thank God. Thank God. Let me go and see him. Let me go and see him. Where is Yusuf? I would like to see Yusuf. I would like to see him.
تعليقك يا
So what's your comment on that?
So
before I comment, actually, when you see the size of his father, yeah, he persevered. He tried to hold. Yeah, he's from Khan Yunis. And I think that his aunt, maybe she's a friend of my sister. Actually, he wrote many comments. Yusuf is white with this hair. Yeah, maybe if someone wants to see him, no one would tell him that he died, because he doesn't know that he died. So he doesn't know about death. I actually watched the rest of this video. They didn't let his mother to see him when the blood was over his body. So yeah, actually it was a very difficult situation. So this video, maybe I think that if it's in the cinema, maybe it would win the Oscar prize. So I'm talking about only one case. This is just what we watched. So maybe what we have on the ground is more than that, and it would be worse than that. Of course, what's coming next is really difficult. So that's why we ask all the Arab leaders in order to stop this war and to cease blood. And we would like to thank all the Egyptian efforts in order to send many humanitarian aids for us, and we would ask for more, because actually the situation there is a disastrous situation. Maybe because my account on Facebook, all my friends, they are there, so I watch all these videos and all these pictures, so it's limited within the friends that you have. So you watch some people who don't have maybe to afford in order to buy only one sack or one bag of flour. So this is just to eat. So of course I stopped to say a word. So what do you think when you watch something like that? Sometimes I stop, because maybe today, maybe this is not my mother, this is not my brother, maybe the next would be my brother. Of course, yeah, that's why I stopped talking. Maybe I am terrified of receiving phone calls. Maybe someone would talk to me and call me and would tell me something maybe terrifying for me. Maybe when I talk to my family members and my fiancé, my eyes actually are tired. Maybe because I watch my cell phone and the TV in order to listen and to watch all these stories in Khan Yunis. So your worries and concerns about the cell phones, because maybe you would receive a bad news. Yeah, actually maybe if my family would be under this kind of bombardment, yeah, who would tell me about them? So actually the situation is a disastrous situation. So tell me.
دايما لما بتقعد تفكر في
when you think always about your family members and about all your family, so didn't you tell them that try to leave your land, leave your country for the sake of your lives? So in the very beginning of this war, actually I talked to them and I called them and I asked them to come here in Egypt, but actually they rejected this. My brothers rejected this, and this is the case for all the rest of the people. So this is the case for the rest of the people. By the way, the mother of Mahmoud Wadi is an Egyptian citizen. And she stayed there in Gaza for 44 years. Maybe all her life is there in Gaza. So it's her land. And of course, my mother talk in the Palestinian accent. All her traditions are Palestinian traditions. So she doesn't want to leave her house there. So actually, the situation is really difficult. So it's more than what we talk about. So do you feel that the Palestinian case receive a support at the international level within the past days? Of course, there is no question. So in all stadiums and all stadiums around the world, all those fans in Spain, in England, in Scotland, all of them, they root for Palestine and for the Palestinian case, because this is a humanitarian case. Actually, they are human beings. The West, actually, they have maybe differentiation and discrimination in their morals, but when they watch those videos, actually, it moves their hearts, and they feel how hard our life is, and the kind of atrocities that we face, and all this kind of aggression that we face. So maybe so what we see today, actually,
طبعا بيبقى في لنا معارف فيهم يعني.
So what you watch today, actually. So there are football players, maybe family members, a doctor from Ahmed Mgheri, and actually I got shocked when I talked to him and he was okay. So and after that he martyred. So you don't know how many of your family members and your friends would die. So this is not a just war, and it is not a balanced one. So and all the hit and all the shooting and shelling and bombardment is against, everything is against the civilians. I would like to ask you a question about the what is the situation of the Palestinian national team? Do you talk to anyone of the players who are there? Of course, the managers are in the West Bank. They're not in Gaza Strip. So and even the Palestinian Federation, Football Federation, is in West Bank, and they contact with us and they communicate with us. How many players are from Gaza? Can you give me a figure? I think 3 or 4 in the national team, maybe the young team. There are also 3 or 4, and they are, thank God, they are okay. Thank God. And as I told you, there are many football players who died as martyrs. So this happens, and the national team in Palestine, as I told you, they plays a friendly game in Malaysia, and actually we withdraw because of this situation that happens. And now we're going to go the qualifiers for the World Cup, and nowadays, actually, how can we play in our country? And I think that the Algerian Federation Football Federation, actually, they agreed that we can play there. And of course, they are really well. So what we have today, and any kind of situation that happens from any country, we appreciate that a lot. And as you know, that Algeria had an experiment before about that. This is the country of 1 million martyrs. So that's why they would sacrifice anything for the sake of Palestine. And I would like to thank all the Arab world and Arab countries for all the humanitarian aids and for everything. We ask for more, but we ask for the ceasefire. So from your view, why does the crossing is hit from the side of Palestine? So this happens every time that the Israeli side hit the crossing from the Palestinian side. So this is one of their plans. This is because maybe we cannot receive any kind of humanitarian aids, as we have witnessed this in the past days, actually. Yeah, so these are the policies, and they're very clear policies. And I don't know about this. Actually, the humanitarian case is really bad. So it's a disaster. It's a catastrophe. So they only persevere and they try to be confident to stay solid. So can you see the father in the past video that we have just watched? Yeah, actually, there are many other scenes that I see on many other videos that I cannot stop watching. Actually, after when I had a training, I tried to go and watch all the recent and updates about the videos. And where I have a game tomorrow with the Arab contractor, and I think that this team is a very good team, and Captain Shawi is a very good manager. And actually, he passed his condolences to me, and when I asked him in order to go with the people on the street, and he told me, I do apologize for you, and we should go before you. When I told him that I have this program today, and he told me, yeah, go ahead and have this kind of program. When do you go back from your injury? So does it affect your psychological thoughts? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Well, I don't eat well, I don't sleep well. So the psychological stance is not good. But of course, yeah, this is what I do for a living. So yeah, I have to do that. So this is gonna be a good push for me and all the other examples in order to go forward. So let's go for an interval, and after that we're going to continue. Yeah, we're continuing with you this talk with Captain Mahmoud Wadi. Yeah, let me ask you a question. Since the start of this war until now, and I don't see this as a war, because in the war we have two parties. This is kind of aggression, and we can see innocent civilians who die, and of course very elderly people and women. So let me ask you a question. Who are the players that get contact with you here in Egypt, or maybe your Palestinian friends in the other countries? Of course, here in Egypt, many football players contact me. Even if they don't talk with me on the phone, they can send me messages on the social media. So someone called me 3 times. Actually, Ali Gabr, he called me many times, 3 times, and he sent me many messages, and from Gaza Strip. And of course I cannot get contact there. But if someone is here, yeah, Muhammad Salah is here, and Badr Musa, and we talk to each other on the phone. What about their families? Muhammad, his family, actually they moved from northern Gaza to southern Gaza, with those who were forced to be displaced, because the family of Muhammad, they live in the sands, in the Rimal area, a Rimal district in Gaza. And there was an atrocity there, and actually so they had to move to the southern part of Gaza. This is what we said. You were forced to leave your land, to move from your land. Of course, when you ask me to move from my land, and I move to another piece of the land which is my land as well, so I move from Gaza to another place. Yeah, this is really impossible. So how do you see the thought that was proposed in order to displace the people of Gaza out of Palestine to Sinai? How do you see this? Actually, this is impossible to happen, and this is not just my opinion as Mahmoud. And when you hear the Egyptian leadership when they talked about that, and this would actually this is related to the Egyptian sovereignty, and so you get the assurance that this wouldn't happen, and we know how this is how this represents to Egypt. So I know that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi mentioned this more than one time, and you get assured that this would not happen. This is from the leadership here in Egypt and from our people in Gaza. As I told you, they live with perseverance and confidence. So we have only one thought: to stay in Palestine, and we would not move to another place or another country. All right. So this talk actually is interpreted in English, and this actually we have a simultaneous translation in English, and all the scenes that would be there on the social media in all platforms would be in English. So what is the message that Mahmoud Wadi, I don't like to say Mahmoud Wadi, but I would say the Palestinian Mahmoud Wadi in order to convey to the entire world. So the message should be conveyed correctly. So if I have a message or an embedded message, so this is the real message, not just me as Mahmoud, my message as a Palestinian person. So because it is translated in English, I would like the West and the US would like to this, and they should consider this message, and they don't have this kind of discrimination, and they should consider the civilians, the childhood, the children, and the forced displacement, and the disastrous situation, the bombardment, all these things, not just to look at the other party who has the right. Because this is the aggression. So now we see the support from the Western countries that were under occupation at one time in the past. So many parliaments in those Western countries, maybe they lived under occupation for some time in the past. Maybe those people stand for us, and they don't have discrimination, and they have this kind of frank perspective towards the Palestinian who actually are under atrocities and under the killing. So actually I ask the Western world and all the other countries in the West and everyone in order to listen to our story and to listen to the real story. Of course, yeah, this is a story, the real story to our case. Actually, it's only one story. It's a story really related to the other aggressive party, but the Palestinian story is not listened to the people. And of course, today there are limits, even on the social media, some other platforms and applications, there are some words when they are told in posts that would be eliminated, the pictures would be eliminated. So this is not to convey the message to as many people as possible. And of course, the message would be conveyed and it would be transferred to the rest of the world. So for me as a sports person, I can see the Palestinian flag in all stadiums, maybe the majority of them in Europe and even in the Arab world. You talked with me about actually the crying of the children and how terrifying they are. Let me watch this video.
كنت نايم؟ ايش صار؟ ايش؟ كنت نايم؟ صار قصف؟ صار قصف عليكم وانتم نايمين؟ خايف الحين؟
there was a bombardment when you were asleep. Yes. Yeah. Don't be terrified. Don't be terrified. Don't worry. We are here with you. Don't cry.
كنت نايم بحكي له.
He said that I was asleep.
عشت شبهها
طبعا.
Did you live something similar to this? Yes, of course, yeah. For 54 days, it was in 2014. I lived this, but I was older than that. Yeah, I was asleep, and the bombardment was happened when I was asleep. Yeah, actually, this child was shocked. Even when he dies, he won't know that he died or he passed away. Actually, the situation is really severe. So what concerns me a lot that the winter is coming. The winter is coming. As I told you, the people live on the street. They sleep on the street. They sleep on the street. Women and men, they sleep on the street. On both sides of the street. So the winter is coming. Really. The winter is coming.
حقيقي فعلا ما وصل وما يصل.
So what we receive here that our families in Palestine, they don't have coffins. Yes, they don't have coffins. Yeah, of course, one of the humanitarian aids that we receive is coffins. So I don't know whether this is good or bad for us. Yeah, but of course, this we receive coffins in order to bury our martyrs. And as I wrote before, that it is just a pleasure that if you have one family, the whole family only in one coffin, we have this mass cemeteries. And actually, they buried the bodies of many martyrs who are unknown. Nobody knew them. Maybe no one knew about them. And they martyred, they died. Maybe all the facial expressions and the facial marks are gone. So everything would be for Allah. So do you imagine that this kind of aggression would stop one time in the future under the situation that we live right now? We see that there is a kind of the ground incursion over the Israeli side. Yeah, we hope all the Arab world, we hope that all the Arab leaders and all the presidents and the officials in order to interfere, in order to stop this humanitarian catastrophe. And this is our call from this program. As a Palestinian person, I lived all these situations, but I didn't live this kind of aggressive situations because actually they exceeded many levels in this very war. And you told me within the interval that your father actually was hit and was injured from war. Actually, my father and my brothers, all of them got injured during the Intifada, and my father actually received many shrapnels, and my father actually his car received 136 bullets. 136 bullets, yes, exactly, 136 bullets, and actually he was saved. And thank God. And I have one of my brothers, his leg was amputated, and another brother received many shrapnels. Actually, and another one who was in the intensive care. So you have my mother, actually, she got injured and she recovered after that. Actually, she has this kind of perseverance because of what she lived. before. So she didn't tell you before that let's go to Egypt. As I told you, they refused. So there is no in one time that because she she feared about you. She told you that although my mother is a woman, and you know that the courage is not as men, but what we see nowadays, the women of Gaza, they have a lot of courage. Maybe other men, they don't have this kind of courage, as we say that one woman equals 100 men. But actually my mother doesn't fear over herself. She cares about her sons. If they're good, she would feel good. When I asked my mother to come with me here in the very beginning of this war, when the crossing was open, before it was hit, I told him, come here to live with me. She said, no, I can't come with you and leave your brothers. So I would like to ask you a question and answer me frankly. Now you play in order to go to do your living. So how do you go there during the vacation? Maybe if I'm not a football player, I cannot say this message. Did you see the message of my mother? This is a really very good push in order for me to continue. So can you see that within the bombardments, she asked you that you would play well and you would win your game. So of course we love our lives. We love our lives as any person in the world, but we do not want to live under this kind of bombardment and this kind of aggression. But under this aggression, of course, no any Arab Muslim person would accept this kind of situation. What is the most or the worst situation that you would not forget? Yeah, so what's this situation? I saw before one of the martyrs. I saw one of those martyrs. Only his family members, very limited family members, who went in his funeral, because all the rest of the people, they were actually busy with the war. They were busy with the aggression. Actually, this was in 2014. For me as a football player, at that time there was a national team, and they told me that you would be a member of the national team, and I ran actually, and I did sports and fitness, and I passed by many places that were hit by the aggression. But this is my life. And actually this is my life. So one of those situations that I played football in order just to forget about the situation with my friends under the UNRWA. Do you like football there in Palestine? Of course, yeah. Yeah, maybe Palestine, this is the only entertainment for you. Yeah, of course, yeah, this is the only thing. Yeah, of course, yes, it's only football. You know, when you sports that we have there in Palestine, maybe they say that we have a history in sports, but actually it's different. We love sports. Actually, this is the only way out of this kind of aggression. So when I go to Gaza, I would tell my brothers, my friends, I would tell them that I am in Gaza, and this was before this recent war. So they have a lot of cares. How can for this child or a young person can stand before a tank only with a stone? How did you do that? Actually, this child, I think Faris, I think that, as we say in Palestine, it's what we say here in Egypt, let's cheer up for this womb that had this child. Yeah, actually he was born as a man, as a real man.
لكن احنا
Of
متأملين
course,
في
yeah,
ذلك.
yeah. Actually, we are truly confident that Allah would stop this war, and very recent, very soon, with this perseverance and with this confidence that we have, and yeah, we hope so. If you have any message, a last message you would like to convey to anyone, actually the floor is yours. Yeah, this is my time. Yeah, actually I sent many messages during this program. I would like to make sure, and I ask for the million times, that as a Palestinian person who lived all these kinds of wars, the past wars, and all these conditions, not as this kind of aggression. We ask all the leaders, as I told you more than once, maybe the fans would get bored, but actually this is real. All the Arab leaders, all the presidents of the Arab countries and all the officials try to work hard in order to stop this war against Gaza and to stop the humanitarian catastrophe. There is no electricity, no drinking water, no internet, no houses, no shelters. No shelters for the displaced people, so you don't know where those people would sleep. And the winter is coming, the winter is coming, the winter is coming, and it is really important to transfer as much as possible of the humanitarian aids. I would like to convey this message to all Arab people, and this is what we desire from all the Arab leaders, and I think that they would spare no efforts in order to stop this war, and it would not be more bloody than that. Who do you miss a lot, and you would like to say I miss you a lot here on air? Of course, all of them. When was the last time you were in Gaza? Who do you miss a lot? Actually, all of them. Oh, of course, I miss everything there. As I told you, maybe I don't know whether during the vacation I can go there or not. And when I go there, I would see it as it was before or not. Actually, for me as a football player, I can travel to many countries, but I cannot travel to all these countries. I travel only to my country, to see my country. This is my place. This is my location. I miss all of them. I wish that you would go there and you would see all of them, and Gaza will be freed and liberated, and I hope that they would persevere a lot in order to stop the war. Wadi, I would like to thank you so much. For the second and third time, I would like to express my condolences, and I would like to thank you for to have you here today, and to let your voice to be heard among the world. And thank you so much, and I would like to send my condolences. And thank you so much. Oh, Palestine, we would like to sacrifice our souls and our blood for you. Palestine, we would sacrifice our souls and blood for you. Palestine, we would sacrifice our souls and blood for you. The martyr would be in the heaven.